because I think the world has changed since then. I think what's become absolutely important is that we've seen a tremendous amount of growth. And by the way, I think in going into Johannesburg, the DA was trailing behind at 20%. And so to have grown to 35% is phenomenal. So if you carry that momentum forward, you'll soon be into the 40s. If we repeated the same performance, I think we'll certainly be in government in Gauteng. And we think South Africans and people of Gauteng are ready for change. I think in 1994, we all understood the fact that we needed to contest for freedom. We understood that the dream was going on in the right direction. We felt we could get behind the choice between oppression and freedom. The difficulty now is, I think that story, there's a new ANC now under President Jacob Zuma, which is primarily interested in supporting certain things. And I think that's what's changed, I think. And now I think we've got a better alternative. I think we need to keep South Africans understanding that our politics don't need to be about race, but they can be about contests of ideas. I think we'd consider a coalition with anybody who, so long as we could agree on what we would govern on. And I think the principles of governing would have to be driven on how we help make small businesses thrive. The principles of governing would be how we professionalize the staff. So we'd never deploy any cadres. We want to make sure that we deal with corruption and red tape. We want to make sure. So long as we can agree on those principles, then I think the possibilities of coalitions are with anybody, and who would agree on those principles. Hashtag believe, really, I kind of got that whole idea because, you know, I remember in '99, I remember standing around and thinking, South Africa is alive with possibility. There's this amazing place that we love and we think it's going to be great. We believed in something. We invested ourselves, we invested our lives in it. That's what we thought. And that belief is waning. It's become something that people have kind of forgotten about. And I think rather than contesting political parties or any of that, it's time for young and old to believe again. And the only way we can do it is if we change government, that we think we could really reinvest ourselves into this country. And I think 20 years on into our democracy gives us the best opportunity to, as I say, believe again and believe in GP, you know. I actually think that may be a good thing to not have governance experience. I think we've had experience in the last 20 years of doing things a particular way. I think those things have brought us to the point now where our levels of unemployment are higher, our levels of poverty are even higher. I think coming from a business background, having studied and have 2 master's degrees, that gives us a fresh take. It gives us an opportunity to innovate, to think about things in a different and a unique way. And if we can achieve a sense of saying, I mean, my absolute passion is that whilst governments have focused on creating big business, ours is to focus on helping small businesses, help the man on the street get on, start a job, and in fact hire 4 or 5 people. Because if we can develop 1 million entrepreneurs in the next number of years, we'll hire 5 million people. And that's the sort of new take I want to bring into our politics and professionalizing the state, asking young people who are professionals, who are competent to come into the state because they build good institutions and those institutions deal with corruption, they develop all of those things. And then ultimately, if we can achieve those 2 things, we'll be able to set up a government that our grandkids will be proud of.